Okay, so I just tried to like add this to my stories, and for some reason, IG was not wanting to record the audio, so I'm going to jump on a quick live. I had something drop in my spirit, and I wanted to share. Y'all know I don't normally show up on IG late in the evening, so I mean it's not late in the evening, but wintertime. But this is important. So what came to mind was about helping people, helping you all figure out that distinction between when you need to be working with somebody who will operate as a coach in your life versus when you need to be working with somebody who is going to be operating in your life as a therapist or a healer, right? Because those are two different things and those are two different needs. So, on the one hand, when you're working with a coach, their job is to essentially help you to, and you obviously think about this in terms of sports, a coach is there to help the athlete be their best. So they have experience in the thing. They're going to see the strengths that you have and help you strengthen those. They're going to see the places where you have weaknesses and help you kind of shore those up. They're going to know how to push you in a way that's appropriate for you, right? Like it's very more so action oriented. It's helping you to achieve a certain kind of goal, etc. And so they're providing you with wisdom that is distilled from lots of experience to help you take action in the most effective way, in a much more simpler way, so that you don't have to go through as much of a learning curve. There will still always be a learning curve, but not as much of a learning curve, right? And then provide you, of course, with some motivation. It gives you some shifts on perspectives for why things are happening the way that they need to happen, et cetera, et cetera. That's coaching. When you're in a situation, though, where, say you're working with a coach and there is an absolute like struggle for you to follow through and to take action on something that you know is good for you, that in your heart you want to do, but in some way, shape, or form, you find a way to sabotage. So whether that's, a mindset that you have, whether it's an emotional thing that you have or whatever, and this is something that repeatedly has shown up in your life, and you might have been trying with your coach to kind of break through and you keep just kind of like not making progress, that's an indication. Actually, even before like you even get to like not being able to make progress, if something gets tapped into that you have been stuck in a cycle of, that tells you that's an area of your life you need to heal. So that's something that you want to work on with a therapist or with the healer or with both, depending on what you like to have as part of your self-care team. That's not the job for your coach, and if you're working with a good coach, they won't do that with you, right? They're going to say go work with your therapist with that, or like here are some other resources that you can do to support you in this process, so that you at least stay in this forward momentum, but you're also still taking care of those things. Like that's that difference. And so I think one of the reasons why Spirit has dropped this in for me is because more likely than not, someone, you possibly, whoever's watching this, is having a time where you've come to a choice point, as I like to call it, and you're trying to figure out, what do I actually need? What do I need to invest in to truly have transformation in my life right now, and for what I want to step into in the next few months? Much less the next year, because like that might be like a lot right now, but for these next couple months, what truly is going to be pivotal in a really grounded sense, that I know I can commit to, that I have the time and the energy and resources to do, to really help move the needle for my personal empowerment. Like, what's that going to be? So again, if this is dropped in, that means that you're at that place and you're trying to figure out, do I need a coach or do I need a therapist or healer? Okay? If you need a coach, you need a coach. If you need a therapist, you need a therapist. But whatever that's going to be, let this, I guess, kind of short live that I'm doing help you with making a decision about what's going to be best for you based on that distinction that I gave. And I'll give this as an additional clarification, because also, because I mentioned this in one of our previous lives that I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Just because you have a lack of knowledge of something does not mean that it's a cycle that you have to break. Okay? So a lack of knowledge is not a weakness. You just need more information. And in that case, I would just say go to a coach. You don't need to go to a therapist for something. I think I mentioned that live, like I had a question from an audience from a talk that I gave recently about, how do I break through a scarcity mindset? And after going through a little back and forth with the person, I helped them see that they actually don't have a scarcity mindset. They're taking the fact that just because folks in their family didn't go after certain things or didn't have certain kind of resources or what have you, that meant that something was wrong with themselves as an individual, right? But then I helped them see like, oh, okay, well, what's the story that you have in your mind about that? And it's essentially like, well, I don't know enough. And so like, if I know what to do, then I'll do it. So then you just get the knowledge, whether you choose to find that knowledge on your own or pay someone who already has the experience to help walk you through that, to again, help you move through that process a lot faster with minimal lessons that have to be learned, right? And to move forward. So again, I say that to say, don't automatically think that what you're going through is a cycle just because you have a lack of knowledge of something. If it's really just a matter of like, okay, I need to know how to do something, or I need this kind of system in, or what have you, that's work that you do with a coach. Okay? And if you're considering that, or you're still not sure, most coaches, if they're good coaches, they're going to offer an opportunity for you to have an inquiry call with them like you would with a therapist. Okay? Like when you want to work with a new therapist, you're usually going to get a 15-minute free call at least. You probably don't need that much time with any longer than that with a therapist. Same thing with the coach. It's usually going to be 15 to 30 minutes, right? And the point of that in both cases is for them to, first of all, you to say what, you think that you need and want, but also for them to assess based on their expertise, what you're actually asking for. Because you're coming in with your knowledge, they're coming in with their knowledge, and it's definitely much more extensive than what you know, because that's literally their livelihood, their expertise, right? So they'll help you determine, okay, again, if they're good, they're going to help you determine if what they provide in terms of a service is actually going to help you based on what's actually occurring in your life. Make sense? So, as y'all know, if you've been with me for a while, like, you know that I will tell people no. If they want to do something more in depth than like just a one-on-one session, like if they want to be in a retainer, if they want to be in one of my small group coaching programs, there is a kind of like pre-qualification process that needs to happen. It's not to be like, oh, are you good enough or whatever. That's there for protection for all parties and to make sure that you actually get what you're paying for. Is that making sense? I hope that's helping you, because like I think we need to be asking for a lot more help than what we're allowing for ourselves. And 2, you have the right to take advantage of whatever free thing is being offered by somebody, and it's being offered for the purpose of you being able to determine whether or not that what they're offering can help you, and for them to determine if they can actually help you based off of what they actually do with their service. So regardless of, for everybody who's at this choice point of deciding, okay, do I need a coach right now or do I need a therapist right now? Regardless, that time to talk with somebody and to really assess where you are, if it's not clear based off of the distinction that I gave, please lean into that. Please lean into those inquiry calls. Okay? And you'll know, like, you got to trust your instincts too. You'll also know, because you may vibe with somebody, but just because you vibe with somebody doesn't mean that they actually can help you based off of what's actually occurring. And if they're more interested in making money off of you than actually empowering you, you're going to feel that. And this is a big reason why I'm the boundaries queen, and I stay with that because I center that. I will be quick to tell somebody, no, all money is not good money. I am here for liberation and transformation and creating culture change through consciousness change and working with leaders. Like, I'm not here to play. I don't have time for the mess. Not that I don't care, but it's already a lot. The work is too important. So I only want to work with folks who are a true yes. And I'll work with you through whatever is appropriate for us to be working through together. But like, I'm not about to be like, oh, you're dealing with some serious trauma. Let me help you through that. No, I'm going to be the first person to be like, you need to go see a therapist. And you're going to work with them for this amount of time, whatever amount of time Spirit tells me. And then once you've done that, then you are allowed to come back to me. Right? So yes, I worked with a career coach last year who provided the free consultation and was very clear about the difference between coaching and therapy. Thank you. See? Let the church say amen. I'll be giving y'all free game. We are so resourced right now. Like, I really hope people understand that we are so resourced. We have so much help and support for free now compared to 10 years ago, compared to 15 years ago, compared to 20 years ago. So please get what you need, but also make empowered decisions. Work with a coach when you actually need to be working with a coach. Work with a therapist when you need to be working with a therapist. And yes, you can do both at the same time if you have the resources to do so. But if you're not sure which you should be working with, reach out to both, do inquiry calls with both, get their perspective. Right? And if they're good, and if they want you as a client, they're going to help empower you to make the best decision for yourself. Because they know and trust that if you really are meant for them, you will come back around. They're not going to chase because they're not codependent. Client relationships are relationships. It only works if we both say yes. And it has to be a true yes, not a influenced yes, if you will. Right? All right. So any quick questions before I bounce? Because, this is a special thing for me to be here after work, first of all, and also on a Saturday. So I'll wait for like 10 seconds. But also, yes, I'm happy that you worked with a career coach. That's beautiful. No questions? We good? Okay. So I'm glad that I got that off my chest. I ask that for everybody who is watching this, please share this in your stories. Please, when this gets put in my feed, please tag somebody because this is important. Help the people that you care about make good decisions based on what's best for them. And the way that you help them is explain to them, or let me explain through the video, like, this is how you do it. Because everybody's like trying to, find a coach and a therapist right now, and it can be overwhelming, and you want to like do it right. There's no doing it right. It's doing it authentically and real. Okay, so you are welcome. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay cool wherever you, or stay warm, I guess, wherever you're living. And God willing, I will see you next week. I'm going to try to jump on a live next week. Maybe I'll jump on, it'll most likely be either Tuesday or Thursday, but yeah, I'm going to try to jump on a live next week and do a, talk about the astrology for the month and the energies that we're kind of dealing with, and do some quick spiritual guidance. And yeah, if you are interested in working with me as a coach, go to link in my bio. There's literally a link right there for schedule a free call. You'll fill out the form there, and then I'll take a look at it and send you a link to schedule a call with me if you want to work together. All right, y'all. Have a good night. And like I said, God willing, I'll see you soon. Bye.